types of events you like. Practice, practice, practice. So, in addition to relax, I just want to remind you that it's safety first out here. Every time I go to a bicycle race, my number one concern is to make sure that I have a safe, fun time. There's no faster way to spoil the fun than taking a spill. Not every crash necessarily ruins the day, but a lot of it.
Hey cycling community, this is Steve Grusis, the Cycling Greek. This is week 1 of the Clovis Skills Clinic and Practice Races. What you're seeing right now is the Skills Clinic itself. We divided the beginning racers into 2 groups. Andy Robertson and I, as mentors, went with this group. Andy went with this group for the first half while I worked with a young junior, and this is the second half where Andy's now working with that young junior and I'm working with his group. What I'm going to be talking about is the Paceline work that's going on right now. Pretty much these guys are doing pretty good. So I'm going to be a little picky here because they were doing so well. So the only female that was in the group is Brooke, and she's right there. And she's now gotten back on the wheel. So as the person, when you're the last person, you see the guy in the orange right there? And coming around a corner is a bit challenging when you're doing pace lining if you haven't done it before. So these guys are doing pretty good with that. So as the person passes the rider in the orange, as the rider in the orange sees him, he needs to come across sooner so he can have the benefit of draft from 2 rows of riders. So now you'll see my teammate there. I think that's John. He's not very close to the rider in front of him that you see now in the picture. When you pull off, then you have to keep your speed maybe 1.5 miles an hour slower than the fast side, and then you have to stay on that wheel when that other rider pulls off, because that's your sanctuary. So into the corner, Brooke is there. Brooke is being a little too cautious in the corners, but she'll get more comfortable with it. And so what that is causing her to do is lose ground, create a big gap, in which she has to then spend a lot of energy to reconnect. Now this rider here, seeing her, comes across quite nicely. Good job. So in the turn, the fast side has the shorter distance. So the slow side has to make sure that they go a little faster so they keep parity. So far so good. There's a gap between Brooke and the rider in back of her. Sometimes that'll cause surges when people try to make up that all in just a few seconds. Okay, he was talking to me and he reconnected. So as he went by, that rider in the light blue comes across. Now Brooke should be coming across. She should have started coming across sooner. It's a little better with a connection, but if it's a fast-moving pack in a race, there's a chance that she would lose contact. Now he's got this down. He's coming across right now as he sees her. The XMX rider is, big gap there. Big gap. And now he's got a big gap to make up. Okay, I think that's John. Now John needs to come across as he sees the XMX rider come. And this guy's spending a little too much time in the front. There he goes. Stop pedaling, don't stop pedaling. Okay, now you got to stay on that wheel when the other one pulls off. Okay, that's too big a gap. Spending too much time in the wind. So you kind of get the idea. When you pull off and then the other rider pulls off in front of you, you got to be on his wheel. And as the last rider comes across, when you're going to the fast side, as you see him coming across, move across slowly. So then when you make the final move over to his back wheel, it's not so much of an effort. And you're right there. Usually they were pulling off almost immediately when they got to the front. Okay, nice move by the XMX rider. And people are falling in line. Now, this is the first time that many of them have probably done, or a number of them have done Paceline. And this may be the first time that most of them have done it at speed. So right here, you'll see that we're going in the low 20s. For some reason, I'm probably out talking to somebody, so. Very nice. It's pretty tight. It's pretty tight. Next week, we'll be going over pacelining through corners. Okay, come across Brooke. She should have started now. See, so she didn't, so now she has to use more energy to connect. I think by the end of the session that she was getting more comfortable with it and she was doing better with it. Nice job. Oh, John, come across, John. Now, I don't know if it's in this video, but there's been times when the last rider just didn't connect when he should have, or there was something going on, and so a rider that was on the pullback side, the slow side, would come and fill in, and they did that without being told. I think like right there, yeah. Nice job, nice intuition. Oh, Brooke. So as you can tell from this video, this was just a lot of repetition. And I just wasn't sitting back just watching them. I was also giving instruction whenever it was needed. Oh, now that guy is too far back. And John is filling in. Good job on John. And that's teammate Richard in the front, by the way. Pretty much these guys were doing a very good job. Nice, very good. Uh-oh. Got to spend some energy. And that's Richard coming across. Excellent. Okay, Brooke, now. Could have been better, but not bad. I'm probably yelling out now, pull through. Very nice crossing over. Nice going to the front, and Brooke is just right on his wheel. Excellent job. Same goes for Richard. So if you haven't done the skills clinic before, basically you're seeing the meat of the clinic right here. Nothing to be apprehensive about. There's a lot of good mentors out there. and they do spend time. Again, there was one junior that was having a little trouble keeping up, and so I just went off the back with him, and we did our own Paceline work. And doing this type of practice, especially in the beginning, is so valuable. When I first got into the cycling scene in around 1990, none of this was around. Basically, I learned by getting yelled at. It was a different time. On the agenda for next week is cornering. Now, we're going to have people that haven't been out there this week that are going to be out there next week. So we do have a method of catching everybody up, and everybody will learn about pacelining and cornering. So please come on out. For just $25 for the day, it's very inexpensive, very valuable. If you do these classes, you'll be surprised on how comfortable you'll feel on the bike around people next time. I hope you enjoyed this. I have a couple more videos coming out of a couple of the races where I have commentary on each of the races. Remember, comment, like, subscribe, The Cycling Greek, and I'll see you next week.